On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Unbathed.
Not having had a bath or shower, not having been washed or cleaned.
Examples:
Unbathed person. Unbathed clothes. The athlete's unbathed and smelly gear needed to be washed urgently.
Wield.
To possess and exercise power, authority, etc.
Examples:
Wield her authority. Wield a bad influence. They wielded enormous power and influence.
Rot.
To decay, or cause something to decay, naturally and gradually.
Examples:
Begin to rot. Rot with age. Please refrigerate the meat, or it will rot.
Chastity.
The state or practice of refraining from sexual activity, particularly outside of marriage, moral and sexual purity or modesty.
Examples:
Chastity belt. Purity and chastity. Some cultures see chastity as a virtue and practice abstinence before marriage.
Foe.
An enemy or opponent, someone or something that is opposed to or in conflict with another.
Examples:
A political foe. Bitter foe. The superhero's archfoe was an evil mastermind who always got away.
Grisly.
Causing horror or disgust because of being connected with death or injury or having a raw or savage quality.
Examples:
Grisly death. Grisly details. The grisly scene of the crime horrified the witnesses.
Gadget.
A small tool or device that is useful for a particular job.
Examples:
A handy gadget. Time-saving gadget. I found the kitchen gadget that will serve as a bottle opener in the store.
Time span.
The length of time that something lasts or exists, a period of time between two events.
Examples:
The time span for the loan. Time span of history. The time span between the dinosaurs and the present is over 65 million years.
Renaissance.
A new growth in activity or enthusiasm in anything, particularly art, literature, or music.
Examples:
Artistic Renaissance. Industrial Renaissance. Folk music is now experiencing a renaissance.
Misconception.
A belief or an idea that is wrong because it has been based on faulty thinking, understanding, or hypothesis.
Examples:
Dispel the misconception. Commonly held misconception. There are numerous misconceptions about food and health.
Purported.
Claimed or said to be true, but not yet proven or confirmed.
Examples:
Purported evidence. A purported biography. The purported cure for the disease has yet to be proven effective.
Monastery.
A building or complex of buildings in which members of a male religious community, called monks, live and worship.
Examples:
Monastery garden. Leave a monastery. This ancient monastery was founded in the 13th century and had a long history of religious devotion.
Convent.
A community of nuns, usually living together in a religious order under vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience.
Examples:
Convent school. Nunnery convent. The old convent was converted into a hotel and retained some original features.
Misinterpret.
To understand or explain something in the wrong way.
Examples:
Misinterpret the purpose. Misinterpret the data. He misinterpreted her statement and got the wrong idea.
Putrid.
Decaying or rotting and emitting a foul or offensive odor, morally corrupt, foul or depraved, repulsive or disgusting.
Examples:
Turn putrid. Putrid atmosphere. I had to throw away the putrid food in the fridge because it had gone bad.
Rancid.
Having a bad taste or smell because it is old and no longer fresh.
Examples:
Turn rancid. Rancid oil. The food had a rancid smell and was inedible.
Pricey.
Expensive or costly, having a high price or worth.
Examples:
Pricey hotel. Pricey gift. The restaurant had pricey menu items, but the food was worth it.
Unspoiled.
Not spoiled or corrupted, not changed for the worse.
Examples:
Unspoiled area. Unspoiled environment. The unspoiled beauty of the wilderness was a sight to behold.
Boast.
To talk about someone's accomplishments, wealth, or abilities excessively with undue pride and self-satisfaction.
Examples:
Boast of his success. Boast a long history. This town boasts a national park.
Bathhouse.
A public establishment where people can take baths or showers, often including other amenities such as saunas, steam rooms, or swimming pools.
Examples:
Turkish bathhouse. A public bathhouse. After a long day of work, she went to the bathhouse to relax in the sauna and hot tub.
Lava.
A frothy substance produced by mixing soap and water, used for cleaning.
Examples:
Creamy lather. Lather of foam. The bar of soap produced a thick lather as she washed her hands.
Scrub.
To clean something thoroughly, typically with a brush and soap or detergent.
Examples:
Scrub off graffiti. Scrub dirt from potatoes. She decided to scrub the kitchen floor to remove all the dirt and grime.
Relic.
An object from a previous era, especially one of historical value.
Examples:
Historical relic. Holy relics. This bronze sword is a relic of ancient times.
Barbarous.
Extremely brutal, savage, or cruel, uncivilized, primitive, or lacking refinement.
Examples:
Barbarous behavior. Barbarous language. Human rights groups condemned the barbarous treatment of prisoners.
Fascinate.
To attract and hold the attention of someone deeply and irresistibly.
Examples:
Fascinate the public. Fascinate the young. The magic tricks fascinated the children.
Anguish.
Severe physical or emotional pain or suffering, distress or mental agony.
Examples:
Anguish and pain. Emotional anguish. She suffered from a deep sense of anguish following the loss of her loved one.
Ostensible.
Appearing or seeming to be true, genuine, or plausible, but not necessarily so, outwardly appearing or declared to be one thing while being something different or hidden.
Examples:
Ostensible reason. Ostensible explanation. The ostensible purpose of the meeting was to discuss budgeting, but the real topic was employee layoffs.
Gruesome.
Causing horror or disgust.
Examples:
Hear gruesome details. Gruesome accident. The gruesome crime scene was difficult for the detectives to stomach.
Corporal.
A non-commissioned officer in the military, particularly in the army, a punishment administered in the military that involves physical exercise or beating.
Examples:
Corporal punishment. Corporal body. As a corporal in the army, he was responsible for leading a small team of soldiers.
Treason.
The act of betraying one's country or government, especially by attempting to overthrow it or give aid and comfort to its enemies, a violation of allegiance or loyalty to one's country or government.
Examples:
High treason. Arrested for treason. The rebels were sentenced to death for committing acts of treason against the state.
Jest.
Playful or humorous activity or behavior, a joke or amusing remark.
Examples:
Crack a jest. A harmless jest. His jokes and jests always had us laughing until our stomachs hurt.
Satire.
A literary or artistic work that uses irony, sarcasm, humor, ridicule, or exaggeration to criticize human vices, follies, or shortcomings. A genre of literature or art that uses such techniques.
Examples:
Satire magazine. A pungent satire. The comedian's satire on politics had the audience laughing and thinking.
Pejorative.
Expressing contempt, disapproval, or criticism, derogatory, having a negative connotation or intended to belittle or demean.
Examples:
Pejorative language. Pejorative term. The coach's pejorative comments about the team's effort were unhelpful and demotivating.
Enlightenment.
Education that results in understanding and the spread of knowledge.
Examples:
Spiritual enlightenment. Enlightenment activity. He finally brought his enlightenment to perfection.
Depict.
To illustrate someone or something in a photograph.
Examples:
Depict a scene. Depict a feeling of isolation. His son had accurately depicted the bloom.
Superstitious.
Believing in or influenced by superstitions, which are usually based on irrational or supernatural beliefs, showing excessive reverence for traditional or cultural beliefs that lack a rational basis.
Examples:
Superstitious fear. Superstitious behavior. Some people are superstitious and believe in good luck charms and omens.
Irrational.
Not based on, or not using reason or clear thinking, mathematics, a real number that cannot be expressed as the ratio of two integers.
Examples:
An irrational request. Irrational numbers. They continued to endure irrational treatment by the dictatorship.
Nationalist.
Relating to or supporting a political ideology that emphasizes a strong sense of national identity and devotion to one's own country.
Examples:
Nationalist sentiment. Nationalist revolt. The nationalist rally attracted thousands of supporters.
Christ.
The man that Christians believe is the prophet and the Son of God, and whose life and sermons form the basis for Christianity.
Examples:
Teaching of Christ. Before Christ. Christmas is the day to celebrate the birth of Christ.
Chivalry.
A code of behavior for knights in the Middle Ages, characterized by honor, bravery, and courtesy, especially toward women.
Examples:
Age of chivalry. Romance of chivalry. The code of chivalry requires knights to be brave and honor women.
Byzantine.
Characterized by a complex and often convoluted administrative system or set of rules, intricate and hard to understand.
Examples:
Byzantine rites. Byzantine art. The Byzantine Empire was known for its complex political system and culture.
Intellect.
The ability to think logically and comprehend information, especially at an advanced level.
Examples:
Enrich my intellect. Human intellect. Your intellect is capable of distinguishing among similar objects.
Diplomat.
A person appointed by a government to conduct diplomacy, equals the management of relationships between countries, with one or more other countries or international organizations.
Examples:
Allied diplomat. Expel a diplomat. The senior diplomat worked tirelessly to negotiate a peace treaty between the two countries.
Cohesive.
Causing cohesion, bringing people or things together.
Examples:
Cohesive ability. Highly cohesive group. He skillfully combines these fragments into a cohesive whole.
Duel.
Formal, one-on-one combat between two people, typically with deadly weapons, often as a means of settling a dispute or seeking revenge.
Examples:
Sword duel. Duel for honor. The duel between the two rival knights was a spectacle to see.